Welcome to Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30, featuring interviews with world-class millennials as well as the celebrities, Fortune 500 executives, and mentors that guide us. Welcome to yet another episode of Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30. I'm with Kanya of the Future Project. It's an amazing collab. Thanks for having us in your office.
Yeah, of course. It's great to have you here.
And I'll let you share what the Future Project is, because I know about the Future Project from Zach Hill, is he your Chief Strategy Officer?
He's our Chief Innovation Officer.
Chief Innovation Officer. Has it always been Chief Innovation Officer?
Nope, you were right. That used to be his title.
Well, now I know the new title. So I knew their Chief Innovation Officer from a social level for a little bit. Got introduced to Kanya. She'll be in our next book. Yay. And yeah, I just would love for you to share with us more about what the Future Project is in your words, because it is being very impactful. I'm assuming will continue to be very impactful moving forward, and it is something that I personally would want to amplify more, and I think someone at home would get a lot of value knowing about and potentially getting involved in.
Sure. So, we started the Future Project because we imagined this world in which every single person, imagine a world in which every person could live life full of passion, with a sense of purpose, understanding their power to make change, and in which they were inspired and they were having fun and loving life every day, even when it was hard, and in which they were really being able to live a life in which they felt fulfilled and excited about what they were doing. And so what we've built over these last couple of years is a model in which we work in partnership with educators and teachers educators and principals all across the country, to turn schools into places that unlock the passion, the purpose, the power, the sense of possibility, above all.
In high schools,
yes, of all the young people inside it. We work in high schools, exactly. And we work with educators, we work with administrators, but more than anything, we work with the students themselves, because they have, like, what we've learned, what we see, what anyone who works with young people knows, is that they've got incredible ideas and energy and leadership inside them, and they have been the missing ingredient, I think, for so long in this quest to transform what school looks like.
You could see the impact of what you guys are doing in some of the videos you guys are making. I mean, maybe we'll share a little clip
sure.
for 10 or 20 seconds, but some of the kids that you are working with end up doing amazing things, or even work in your office now to push this forward, or tell us some of the case studies of students that you've been able to touch and impact.
Sure. So the way it all works is we've got these dream directors, and you can think of them as part social entrepreneur, part community organizer, and that best coach or teacher you ever had. They're people who believe in you when you make
social entrepreneur, community
organizer,
and life coach.
Yeah, something like that.
All wrapped up
into one. Exactly. And so these dream directors, we've embedded them in schools across the country, and what they do is they work with young people to figure out something that they really care about, that matters to them in their school and the world around them, and they help them translate that into something tangible. We call it a future project. Could be a campaign, a new product, an event, a new organization or club or company that brings that dream, that vision for the world to life. And many times that vision is of a world without homelessness or hunger or violence, something that brings justice and and helps to make a very big or small problem around them to be better. Sometimes though, it's also I've got some of my favorite stories are students who have come to us and said, I love anime and I want to see more young people in my school who love anime have a forum in which to share that and to meet other kids who have the same passion. And what we see in even small examples like that is that student now has a sense that the things that have come out of his or her mind and imagination can come to life, and they can build a team and a little movement around that idea. Sure. So it's really powerful, I think, to see students, to meet them where they are, and to just nurture and coach and train them in the skills that they need to bring their visions to life, no matter what they are. But some of my favorites, we've had students we have a student who lost his mother a couple of years ago, who lives in Detroit, And he was inspired by another student, actually, of ours a couple of years before him, who said that she never wanted another student or another young person who experienced loss, especially loss of a parent, to feel as alone as she did when she lost her mother, and he felt the same way. So he's been bringing together students across Detroit who've experienced loss of any kind.
Wow.
In this community that he's calling Flutter, and he's been getting those young people to submit stories, and again, following the lead of this other student, has been collecting those stories and sharing them, so that students who've lost something can find something new in a new community. We've had students who've started national campaigns to raise self-esteem, and young people have created toolkits that have spread that to schools across cities, which has been really powerful. Just the other day, I was talking to a student who's now an alum who, for the last 3 years, has done a national tour to perform his hip hop and rap music in schools for other young people and audiences across the country. He calls it the Next Up Tour. There's 2 students out of New Haven who've done that. We've got students who've built apps. Who've imagined, imagine bringing their peers together in ways and around ideas that they share, and that they're all collectively excited about in ways that normally doesn't happen in school. We've had students host day-long experiences inside their schools that have completely flipped the dynamic, put the day in the hands of the students, and we've gotten the teachers and the other staff in the school to, for example, reimagine the disciplinary system in school and really help to stop the school to prison pipeline that exists in so many parts of the country. There's tons of examples I could go on all day, but I think there's also one more I'll tell you about those. It's really exciting because I was just talking to the student. She was our first student. Her name is Justice Hatterson, our first student in New York City. Helped us get into our first school in New York. And in her first year, started this little photography club called Daring Imagery. And as she started taking pictures, she realized that what she was most excited about was photographing fashion and models, and so that her little club evolved into a slightly bigger club focused on photography and fashion. And 5 years later, she now runs a model management company.
Wow.
That has like 40 models from across the city. And she posted on Facebook the other day, or on Instagram, a picture of herself in high school and a picture of herself now. And she said, this went from this is my project to this is my business. And it's now what she gets to do every minute of the day.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. It's totally amazing, because she didn't know she could do that.
And she get paid for this?
Yeah, and she just every day has learned a little bit more, and she's had all these coaches and supporters and mentors around her that have who encouraged her and who have connected her to people that she needed to learn from along the way.
Yeah, so I got a question.
Yeah.
Both for 2 reasons. 1, so that we can learn more about the future project, and 2, so that we can garner some really awesome practical advice from you.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through the process a dream director would take through with a student to help them figure out what that passion is?
Sure. You can imagine that this varies obviously for every student, and that we can talk about it as a linear process, but it's not. Students come in all totally. But just prefacing all that. Yeah. But the way we think about our methodology, we sort of talk about it that we want students to go from a place of discovering something that inspires them, being able to say, I want that, and then translating that into a sense of belief and into the skills to believe that they can do that thing. So they go from I want to I can, and then they're able to take action and to learn the skills of execution that they need to take that idea and the skills that they've acquired and actually execute, and that becomes I will. So they go from I want to I can to I will, and a lot of the inspiration phase is exposure. So we want our students to, many of whom in schools are incredibly isolated and isolating, and so students don't always know the breadth of opportunities that exist, sometimes in the neighborhood right around their school, and in other cases just across the world. And so a lot of what dream directors do is expose students through everything from videos to visits and career days and things like that, to all kinds of opportunities and people and jobs and projects that have happened in the world that might spark something in them and get them excited about something they might want to take on. So that's a lot of the inspiration phase is exposure. Then the belief phase, there's a lot of coaching, one-on-one coaching that dream directors do with students. because many of our students, young people all over the country, all over the world, face all kinds of obstacles that many of which are completely like seemingly out of their control. They're family things or socioeconomic circumstances or like violence in their community or whatever that make it really challenging for them to feel in control of their life every day. So they do a lot of one-on-one coaching with their dream directors. We train them in a big way in the one-on-one coaching methodology. But they also, dream directors, deliver a lot of content to students, and we do that in a different way than students normally get content, which is often sitting and like watching somebody speak to them.
Or homework.
Yes. Exactly. But
I didn't do college, by the way. I'm a high school graduate. I can't even say I'm a college dropout.
You just never even started.
I took 2 gap years.
Did you always know that you weren't going to go, or you took 2 gap years and never?
Yeah, I was a straight A student through 9th grade.
Yeah.
In the 9th grade, I was starting to work on my first business. So that was, I guess, when I figured out what I wanted to do, or in the realm of what I wanted to do, which came through exposure.
Yeah.
Of my family being entrepreneurs and of just brainwashing myself with like Forbes and Business Insider and all that around 16. And I don't know if I started placing more emphasis on the real world than school. Not that school isn't the real world, but from my terminology, I can say that. You might not be able to say that. So then I went through the process. It was a lot of the TL Foundation and their work sort of pushed me, for better or worse, away from school and towards more of the real world stuff.
Yeah.
Who knows? In 20 years, I might be completely wrong. My hypothesis, maybe I'll be the person who should have stayed in school, but I will know in 20 years.
I've come to believe that college is not the path for everyone. There's so many ways to.
It is for some people.
Right, totally. But there's so many ways to learn what you need to learn to have the impact you want to have in the world.
Right.
And then so much of that last phase that student directors do with students is all just about trial and error. It's about learning really practical skills like how to make a budget, how to make an action plan, how to build a team and lead the team toward accomplishing a goal. And so there's just a lot of practice that students do.
Is the I will framework science-based? Is it research-based?
Yes, so everything we do is research-based, and we've had the fortune of getting to know some incredible researchers over these last few years. Carol Dweck has been a big influence on us as we thought about how to instill, a mindset in students that get them to always want to grow and learn. We worked with Bill Damon, who studies purpose. We've worked with Scott Barry Kaufman, who is reimagining intelligence and thinking about creativity a lot, and he's helped us to think about how to foster imagination and cultivate the skills of imagination in our students. Do
you guys have some of this research on part of your site, or?
Yes, If you go to our website, you'll see the sort of 9 different research areas that we focus most on as we've been building out our methodology.
Yeah, and then obviously pick up every single book from the author she just mentioned. Carol Dweck's book on mindsets is insanely applicable and amazing. Scott Barry Kaufman's a friend and connected us, and he does great work in multiple fields on psychology.
Yes.
And you guys have a lot of people behind you that are super intelligent and or super influential and or both.
Yeah.
And it adds a lot of firepower to what you guys are doing, which is totally needed because you guys are doing great work.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we've been very lucky. There's been incredible people that have offered to spend time supporting us as we've been getting this off the ground.
And so the website's the best place to find out about you?
Yeah, you can go to thefutureproject.org and you can learn more about what it takes to be a dream director, because you may be a dream director, and learn more about how we do what we do, because what we are doing now is extremely exciting, but it's just the start. We've got lots more to learn and a lot more to build.
And what cities are you guys in right now?
We're in New York.
What states?
Yep, we're in New York, we're in New Haven, Connecticut, we're in Washington, D.C., we're in Newark, New Jersey, we are in Philadelphia, we're in Detroit, Michigan, and San Francisco.
Any new cities in the next 6 months?
We are looking at Chicago right now. We're looking at Los Angeles. I grew up in Memphis, so I'm hoping we'll be there soon. And we've got a couple other cities that we're talking to as well.
Got it. Well, check out the Future Project. They're doing amazing work. If you're in one of those cities, especially check it out. Think about becoming a dream director. It is a crucial role that even like I'm doing and you're doing in different ways, not calling a dream director and in our own organizations, but yeah, it's really good stuff. And even if you don't get involved, check out their research because you can apply it to your own life. So,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
Future
Thanks
projects.
for having me.
Check it out. Apparently I'm supposed to throw this pill out, so let's not hit the camera. Boom. And that's a wrap. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30. Now, if you want to see more stories from the 3 Billion Under 30, we actually have a book coming out in January called 3 Billion Under 30. And if you go and click the link in the description below, you can get 3 free stories from the next book right now. Not in January, now. So check it out and follow the rest of the web series in order to see more interviews just like this one.